Hey guys, Justin Prime. Today I want to talk about Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk. He goes by at Gary Vee on Instagram, um, and just kind of the impact that he's had on me. He's, I think, known as like a motivational speaker, but he's a lot more than that. He's kind of like a social media entrepreneur slash entrepreneur. Well, he really talks about how social media can impact people who are entrepreneurs. Now, I don't consider myself an entrepreneur. That's not really a goal of mine, but utilizing social media to connect with my audience is a huge goal of mine, as you know from listening to the J Primecast. And connecting on a deeper level with my audience is also a huge goal of mine. So that's a perfect fit for me because he covers those things in such depth for free that he's got a lot of my attention. I listen to him not every day, but pretty damn frequently, nearly every day. He's got so much content that comes out. It's just absurd. It's very inspiring. Um, but he's a lot more than what I described. If you haven't listened to Gary Vaynerchuk, I definitely recommend you do. Um, so I wanted to talk about kind of what kind of impact, just to reflect on what kind of impact he's had on me. The first thing is his level of positivity. He's not a negative person. Doesn't come across that way. He talks about positivity, how important it is, and I think that message has gotten through to me. I don't think I've been a person that really dwells on the negative too much. I think I complain very easily and I pick apart things. And I don't mind that. I think it's a strength of mine to be able to critique and pick apart things. But just like bitching and complaining, I think that's something that I can do very easily. Um, Holding grudges, not really holding grudges, but like judging, placing judgment, that kind of shit. Like, there's lots of artists that are out there that have earned what they have, and I think for a long time I had the mindset of like f those people, or they got lucky, or I don't know, whatever, like that kind of mindset, And I've let a lot of that stuff go because it doesn't help whatsoever. So I've really focused more on positivity. I'm not faking it because I do feel pretty happy and satisfied with my life. So I'm just tapping into that and kind of spreading it as much as I can. Um, and then also I can easily get sucked into debates with people, especially about politics and religion, those hot button kind of things. And that's a huge waste of time for everybody involved. It really is. And for me, I get sucked into it, and it's not so much that it's important to me to prove that I'm right, but it's important to me that the other person know that they're wrong. Uh, and just to shut them down. Like I can get into that mode really quickly and kind of pounce. And if I do that on Facebook or whatever, it's all I think about until I know that I've won and that they know that they've lost or they've given up or whatever. So that kind of shit really sucks my attention away, and I've given up a lot of that for quite a while now, and it's really been a benefit to me. But even now on like Instagram, like recently there was someone who posted about H&M doing like using someone's graffiti art that they put on a public wall without a permit or anything like that. And I won't say what my opinion was, but this is something that I kind of bit on and responded to and kind of went back and forth with people. But beyond that, like it got stuck in my head and I kept thinking about it. And so I have to make the choice to not get stuck in that negativity. And nothing wrong with debating, but it's more than that for me. And it sucks my attention away and it doesn't need to be there. Um, Same thing happened on my Instagram where I shared I reshared or reposted a picture from Gary Vee about having complete control of your life. The intent was positive, but of course a couple people read that and went like, well, not everyone has control over their life. And I didn't exactly bite on it. I wanted to. I did respond politely and it was fine. But I think that's the thing. Like, if you're focused on the negative, you'll see a positive message like that you do have control over your life, which we do. And you'll look for a negative, and there's no point. It doesn't help anyone to look for a negative in that and try and disprove that idea. So anyhow, that the positivity, and I think that people feel that from me. I've gotten some feedback from people that they enjoyed the positivity. Um, and it's just like I'm just tapping into that inner happiness that I do have. And I think for a long time I didn't have it. I wasn't depressed or anything like that. It was more just not satisfied. And I think recently, especially recently, I have tapped into this piece of me that I feel very not satisfied, more fulfilled, more driven. And that was lacking in my life for quite a while. I was just kind of going along. And now I'm like taking more ownership over my time, my creativity, um, and all that stuff. You know. So yeah, be more positive. That's the first thing. And I've also realized the importance of surrounding myself with people that are positive. And right now, most of that's through social media because I don't really go out and hang out with people a lot. So it's connecting with other people that are kind of in my similar position, and just building each other up. And listening to Gary Vee, like he's a positive guy. Like I need that fed into my brain pretty regularly. I think we all do, and that's really helped me. The other thing that has made an impact on me from Gary is his willingness and his excitement about getting down and doing the dirty work. So for him, that is selling, that's hitting people up in direct messaging, all that kind of like stuff that he could easily pass off to someone else. And he does have a team that does that kind of stuff, I'm sure, but he's still very active as well. And I caught myself doing that, and I actually feel really bad about it. I had asked my mentee Brendan to do some of my DMing, and it was just or leaving comments for people, and he would leave general comments, and it bugged me, and I felt so bad about it. I'm like, you know what, dude, stop. That's on me. I need to do that. And once I took it over, I felt a lot better about it, and I know that I think I've made a different impact in the people I've talked with, because I've taken more all the ownership over it, and I'm not leaving comments like, "Hey, great job." It's more like very specific about their line work or their coloring or the emotion in the piece or whatever. So when I do go into that mode of like looking through hashtags and leaving comments, it's genuine, and I'm really trying to connect with that person. And farming that out to Brendan was just messed up, and I feel really bad about that. I feel like that was messed up. So, and I did the same thing, honestly, without realizing it. I didn't do the same thing, but I asked for help like a month ago with video editing, just because of the time thing. That was something I wasn't able to keep up with, and someone did offer to help out, and it wasn't really going anywhere. I don't blame him; he's got his own life. But recently, just like this week, I realized like I have to do things on my own. If someone wants to volunteer and help out, that's cool. But I think I'm at a place right now where if I can't do it, I just won't do it, and I'm gonna focus on what I can do and kind of maximize that. So I think I've realized recently that YouTube is probably dead for me right now, and this podcast is something I can do, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm gonna do this as best I can. So my willingness to do the dirty work has gone up, and I'm enjoying it too. I like doing the DM thing and commenting on other people's artwork and on Vero and Instagram. Those are my two main things. Oh, actually, then I have a third one, which I'll go into in a little bit. Not quite yet. So I am just doing 100% me right now. I'm not relying on anybody else, and that feels right to me. It feels true. It feels genuine, and that needs to be what's happening. I'm really productive right now. I move. I think I realize that I move and I produce faster than anyone else. Not anyone else, but the people I've talked with, like you're not gonna be able to keep up with me because I'm doing so much, and I really am very efficient about my time and what I'm trying to accomplish. So through this process of taking ownership over every aspect of what I do and not asking and relying on other people, I feel a lot more confident. I'm feeling a lot more successful. I am a lot more successful, so I'm feeling more confidence through that. I'm learning new skills also. I'm learning about video and sound editing. Um, and, as I do this stuff, I'm learning how to do things quickly and efficiently. I'm learning how to do use Keynote on Mac to do like video overlays to give it like a nice little animation. And I'm building relationships. I think that's the most important thing is I'm building the community that I want to build, and that kind of like that positive network. Um, that's happening for me, reaching out and doing the dirty work on my own. Yeah. So the other thing that I have gotten from him that is a big deal. It's a lot of stuff. I'm just picking like a few of them for this podcast. This is like a mini cast. So the other one is going deep, not wide. And this is something that I talked about, I think, on episode 5 of the J Prime cast. I think I did. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, going deep, like really looking for and connecting with people that are kind of similar to me, independent, amateur, beginning artists and comic book artists, people that might have like a mental obstacle that they're getting through, people that need a new mindset or just some skill improvement, feedback. That's kind of where I'm at, and I've owned that, and I'm talking about it out loud in the podcast, and and people are connecting with that, and so I'm building the community of people like me. That's going deep versus going wide, which is trying to appeal to anyone and everyone and get my follower count up. My follower count at this point is not important to me. The connections that I have with my followers is very important to me, and I think I'm really doing a pretty good job there. And I'm still new in it, so the community is very small, and I'm totally cool with that because I'm having a really good time, and I think I'm providing value and benefit to this small group of people. So the podcast is one of those avenues that I'm doing. This thing that you're listening to right now, because it's very for a very specific niche group. Like I said, the beginning amateur independent creators. This is not for people working at a professional level. I don't mind if you guys listen, but it's really not for that group of people. Anyone can listen, of course, but I do have a target audience, so that's my depth I'm going for. So the podcast is one of those ways. The other way is I started something brand new, based on the recommendation from one of my, I'll say, community members. His name is Lenny. I think it's pronounced Lenny Hands, and he recommended that I start it's called Discord. Discord. Start a group or group in Discord, a community. And Discord is an app for gamers, but I think it's got a lot of useful tools for what I'm doing. It's like a forum kind of place, a chat place, text chat, but there's also an audio chat. So once I get the well, I might like to do like once a month, once every couple of weeks, do like a audio chat with my group, my community, about whatever Q&A kind of thing, and not positioning myself as like an expert, but maybe just more like hosting a community chat, group chat. I don't know. I'm brainstorming, but that's going really well. I'm only a few days into it. It's called the J Primecast Community. It's invite only. I'm really enjoying it, and I think the people who are in it are as well. I've had some really good conversations. We've answered some questions. People are getting feedback, and they're posting their artwork for collaborations, and there's already been some collaborations happening. So it's been cool. I'm really happy with it so far, and I think as long as I keep nurturing it, people will stay involved. If you want to be involved in it, if you're listening to this, to me that means you're serious about where you're at and that you're on the same kind of goal, same path as me. Like, DM me and let me know you want to be a part of the J Primecast community on Discord, and you're in, because it's invite only. It's only from people that I know will be interested and that are part of my target audience. So if you're listening to this, that's probably you. All right, so going deep, not wide. I'm replying to every direct message that I get, and I'm giving them lots of time. I'm not like rushing out of conversations at all. I'm giving everyone that DMs me my time and attention, and it's not too much right now at all. And my phone's with me constantly, so it's very doable. But on top of that, I'm also replying and very much a member of my community on Discord, the J Primecast community. This is something I honestly used to hate doing, and it goes so against the point of social media. before Gary Vee and understanding how important social media is and tapping into my own happiness, I used to really not like talking to people. I wanted to kind of show my artwork, get followers, and move on. And that's like the exact opposite of what we should be doing. And I feel like a dick now. Um, but that was more my personality. I have a hard time socializing with people. I'm not very good at it, unless it's about something I'm interested in. So you would think that artwork would be one of those things, but I don't know. I always felt kind of annoyed for the longest time. Getting comments was cool and feedback was cool, but when people would DM me about their own thing or look at my artwork, this or look at like what tools are you using, I would just be like, oh, this is annoying. But now it's not. I'm happy to reply to people, um, and kind of give that because I know that it's building my community and I know that I'm positively impacting people. So I'm really happy about what I'm doing right now, and I feel bad because I wasn't a dick to people at all. I'm always polite, but I feel bad that I had such like a negative attitude about it. It's just stupid. Uh, I think also going deep, not wide. I'm really honing in on my niche: independent comic creators, independent artists that are beginning, amateur, or just developing. That's pretty much all of us. Um, and I'm really helping these people deal with mental and emotional obstacles like it's not good enough or I don't have enough followers. So all those things that I've been tackling with myself, I'm trying to lend that to my community, and as well as feedback. And what's cool is that the rest of the community is doing the same thing. Like it's a group effort, and it's been great so far. So going deep, not wide. um that's been a big impact on me from Gary Vee, and I feel like I'm owning that and doing a pretty good job there. And I feel like I've just started, honestly. So nowhere to go but up from this point. No, actually, that's not true. I could definitely get worse, but I won't. Right. So, man, like my happiness level right now, I don't think I've ever been happier in my life, which is kind of sad to say because I have kids and a wife. Those are all happy things, but they're not the same as like the creative part of me that is driven. Like I'm finally fulfilling that without judgment. I'm going all in, and I'm okay with that. Um, I'm really happy right now. Like I'm like so driven and focused and fulfilled. It's cool. I love what I'm doing right now, and I think Gary Vee has a lot to do with that. You know, I think with before I've accomplished a lot in life. Two kids, a wife, great career, a couple of college degrees. Um, but I was never fulfilled on this level, like in this way, and because like the creative part is like deep within me, and now I'm fulfilled. I'm tapping into that part of me, like who I really am. And it's like what I'm doing now is just for me. I have a career, that's stuff I do for my family. This is like I don't make much money on this at all. This is for me. Like I'm fulfilling something for me, and I'm connecting with others as well. So it's just I don't know, it just feels very pure. I don't know. That's kind of my impression of it. And like college and the career and the wife and kids, I was like part of the plan. I was supposed to do that stuff. Like I knew that was going to happen. And so like that happening, it was just like, yep, that was part of the life plan. And hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about because I kind of feel like I sound like a dick. But it's like that was part of the plan. In my in high school, I was using MySpace, and on my MySpace, like profile bio description, it said that and this is in high school. I said I'm diligently working toward a life of suburban mediocrity. That was my line, word for word. That was my bio. Like I knew in high school that was the goal of my life, was just to become a husband and a father and have a house and a career. And I did that. So I didn't feel fulfilled because it was like I was supposed to do that. And I didn't take any risks. And I'm still not willing to right now. I'm not willing to risk my job for, I have kids I'm taking care of. I'm not willing to abandon my job to become an artist or anything like that. And I know that I don't think Gary Vee would not encourage you to do that, although I guess he kind of does. But he also says, like, look, if you're happy with your life, cool, like that's who you are. Be self aware of that. Um, it's like he says he knows millionaires who are miserable, and he knows people that make 80 grand a year who are super happy or whatever. So that I've become content with what I've earned so far, and not content at all with my art life. I do feel fulfilled, but I'm not content, if that makes sense. Like there's a long way to go that I know I'm not even near done. So yeah, that those are some thoughts on Gary Vaynerchuk and how he's affected me. If you don't listen to him, man, you're missing out. There's some really good stuff there. It's just he's good. But thank you for listening. Till next time.